Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 21 of Colorway Wednesday. If this is your first time joining us, hi, my name is Dorlyn Sawyer. I'm your Miss Ozark Ambassador 2026 with the Princess of America organization. And today we are going to be coloring a coloring page by an up-and-coming artist. So you can go ahead and get this coloring page as well. If you want to color along with me, it is on my Instagram account. You can click a link on my story and find it there. And then that way you can download it and print it out and follow along. Or on my story, you can also find a screenshotable version if you want to do it digitally or otherwise. But with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to what today's coloring sheet is. It's a nice little simple one, but I think it's very nice. This one is by Chelsea Tams. This one's by Chelsea Tams. This is from her series 20 Days of Coloring, which you can see on the bottom here. That is included in the PDF and everything, so make sure to check her out. Chelsea Tams has a whole series available on her website for $15, I believe. That is phenomenally done coloring sheets that she designed herself. And it's literally just a program where you color once a day for 20 days. Super cute. This first sheet is the kickoff of the series, I believe, and it is free on her website, which is why we are coloring it today. I will never be sharing a page with y'all that I paid for without consent of the artist, because that would just feel wrong. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started. I've got my Ohuhu brand markers, and we're going to go ahead and get coloring. I know this is a nice simple one, but I think it's going to be deceptively a little more difficult than I think, which I'm really excited for. But this is going to be cute. I know we go with a lot of like flower imagery because I fear I am a strong floral girly. If you have been following the show a lot, or if you even just like go back and see all of the other coloring pages we have, because fun fact, those are available on my Instagram. There's a link to the Google Drive that has every single episode's coloring page, so you can print them out and color along, or just color them however you want. You don't have to watch me in the background, but like if you want to, I wouldn't mind. Keep me company. But goodness, I forgot what I was saying. That's okay. But yeah, print it out, color along, all that jazz. Yeah. All right. Yes, florals. There we go. I got it, guys. Don't worry. So florals. We have a lot of floral-esque adjacent coloring pages already, but this one really stood out to me because I was like, we don't do a lot of typography lettering ones, even if it's just like two simple words within the coloring page itself. And so I really wanted to do that because I thought it would be a nice little deviation, a little difference from what we typically do. Add some variety here on the Colorway Wednesday show. I hope everyone's week's been going well. I know some people are super stressed right now. I know summer school just started for a lot of people. I know that, like, my sister just started a job. She's got her externship because she's going in audiology, so she fancy like that. What else is there? Let's see. Oh yeah. So many pageants going on. Just this weekend alone, like this past weekend in Oklahoma, there was Miss Oklahoma for the Miss America organization, and literally the day after was Miss Oklahoma for the Miss USA organization, which brutal. The amount of pageant people I've seen posting that they went to both is like crazy work to me, because I'm like, I feel like that'd be so tiring. Both of them were very close to each other in location, so like some people probably just booked the same hotel room for an extra night or live in the area. But I'm just like, man, that's a lot. That is a lot. Shout out to my girl Jacelyn for winning Miss Oklahoma in MAO, and then Anna Maria for winning Miss Oklahoma in USA. Very, very cool. I always say let's see way too much during this show. I need to make a bingo card for people to play while they watch Colorway, to like incentivize people to watch. And it's literally just like, Joy says, let's see 5 times, and you'll have it in the first 3 seconds. Because I'm pretty bad about that. I must admit. It's okay, it adds to my charm. At least I like to think it does. But yeah, I know a bunch of my Minnesota girlies are competing at MAO's Miss Minnesota this week. Shout out friends of the show, Mariana Zhang and Lainey Donahue. Both of them have been on here previous episodes. Lainey was actually just a couple of weeks ago. But they are both just absolute delights of human beings, and everyone who's there who gets to interact with them is so lucky, and I'm jealous because I miss them because I love them. Trying to decide what colors I use for everything. I probably should color the main flower. I started coloring like all the little flowers first, but now I'm realizing I should probably color the main flower so then I can build the colors off that. However, that's the fun thing about this, is it doesn't have to look amazing. I know I've talked about this on the show before, but I tend to be very, I have a higher expectation for my skills than my skills develop. So I expect I see art and I go, wow, that's really good. That's really good. And my perception of what is good art develops further beyond my skills, which that's not an only me thing. That's most artists. But that's what drives us to get better, right? But I also have to remind myself, especially with coloring, and I think a lot of people can benefit from this, is it's for fun. It doesn't have to look good. You don't have to impress anyone. You don't have to wow anyone. This is such a judgment-free activity. I mean, granted, if you're in a courthouse and you start coloring something, people will judge you. But I mean, just it's not something that people scrutinize as much because what makes a good coloring page? I don't know. I think coloring pages have so much charm whenever they're done by a kid and they just scribble in 3 colors and call it a day. And they're like, yeah, I'm amazing. It's whatever. And you're like, yeah, you are. You're the next Picasso. I mean, don't be like Picasso, but you're the next one of him. So go off, diva. I should say that more. Just start telling kids they're like Picasso and see how they react. I'm not going to actually do that. For context, I do work with kids a lot. I'm not just going to go up to random kids on the street and be like, hey, you're like Picasso. No. I work as a party princess, so that's a little more in my wheelhouse, but it's also a thing that I, as a person, would say not any of the characters I play would say, so I fear I can't actually do that, but that's okay. The blue I'm using to color this is turning out a lot darker than I was anticipating, but I'm kind of vibing with it. I feel like I don't go with moody colors a lot. I should start doing a wheel, a spinner, that selects what type of color palette I'll do. That'd be fun. I should do that. Oh my gosh. Guys, we're coming up with so many good ideas right now. This is awesome. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Let's see number 5, probably. What have I been up to lately? Goodness gracious. I have been doing a lot of nationals prep, which has been very fun. I'm honestly starting to feel pretty good. I'm seeing a lot of growth just in the past couple of days, which makes me really happy. because I fear I am not the most patient person when it comes to progress. But that's because I naturally pick up on a lot of things quickly, so it's very frustrating whenever things aren't just like naturally coming to me. If you know the hit show Lego Ninjago, that's actually pretty much the exact character arc that one Nia Smith goes through. And I, as a kid, hated her for it. And I think that's just because she kind of exposed a part of me that I didn't want to realize existed. And that's okay. We live, we learn, and we just move on. Oh, that's fun. Guys, this one's cute. Don't worry. This one's cute. We're going to go with this yellow. What else have I been up to? I've been cleaning the house a lot. For those of you who don't know, I've been moving back from my college apartment, like back home with my mom for the time being. And I have been slacking on the putting away of the things I moved back. So that's on the docket for this week because, yeah. It's going to make everyone's lives a lot easier when packing for nationals if I have everything else kind of unpacked. But we've made really good progress on that. Been working on my ambassador portfolio. Practicing formal wear and personal intro every day, all that jazz. Right now I'm throwing on some yellow on the, goodness, I cannot think of what they're called. The little things that come out of the center of flowers. I want to say proboscis, but that's like what bugs have. It's like bug nozzles, mouths, something like that. Now I'm coloring the leaves of the main flower. I've been watching a lot of Say Yes to the Dress lately, which has been interesting. It's a very good show to turn on while I'm crocheting because I don't really have to be paying that much attention, but I can tune in randomly and start actually focusing whenever the drama gets high. I watched one episode earlier today actually that straight up girl, it was crazy. The bride fell in love with this one dress, but her people she brought with her hated it. They hated every single dress she tried on. They kept saying it wasn't good enough for her, that she didn't look good in it, blah, blah, blah. And so it got to the point where there was 3 people from the store helping fend for this woman because her entourage and the people she brought with her are so mean. Granted, they weren't saying you look like garbage. They were like, no, you deserve something better. And then she really liked this one dress. And then they were like, no, that one's not good enough. And she was like, no, I like it. Shush. Honestly, I should make a short series that's just me recapping episodes of Say Yes to the Dress. That'd be awesome. Unfortunately, not all the episodes are that crazy or interesting. If you're unfamiliar with the premise of Say Yes to the Dress, essentially the show is set at it's a reality TV show, but it takes place at this fancy dress store in New York, or at least I'm watching the New York version. There's also a Georgia version, but takes place at New York, and they're all like, oh my gosh, I'm going to find my dream dress at this really expensive place called Kleinfeld, which is fair. There are some really pretty dresses, but also the episodes I'm watching are from 2013, and the fashion style has changed so much. If you don't know, I work in the wedding industry sometimes, and so it's crazy comparing these gowns to what I see brides wear whenever I work weddings. It's really amusing, but it's crazy. But they'll come in and they'll get like an attendant, so like one of the shop people, to be like, oh, hey, this is the type of dress I like. This is my budget. Can we find something? And sometimes these budgets are crazy to me. Like, I know I'm a pageant girl and I know I should be a little, not should be. I know some people are a little more desensitized to costs, but whenever a woman walked in my first episode I ever watched, a woman walks into the shop and they're like, how much are you looking to spend? And she goes, about 15,000. That's my budget. I was like, 15,000? What? It was crazy, dude. Like, good for her. But goodness. I've had this one song from Sophia the First stuck in my head all day today. And it's like, don't get me wrong, it's a baller song, but it just won't leave my head. I also haven't watched Sophia the First in a long time, but one of my coworkers and I, we were driving to work the other day, and she just had Sophia the First playing on the car stereo. And it was like, yeah, this is a vibe. Granted, she made me listen to some of the new Sophia the First, which I did not appreciate because that is not my Sophia the First, but that's fine. That's fine. Oh, goodness. The marker I'm using is definitely drying out. You know, almost every single episode I have used my Ohuhu markers. I talk about the fact to come, man, I need to replace the cartridges and blah, 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 blah. And then I never do. And then I always kind of forget which ones have the problem. But it's like, obviously, the ones that have the problem are going to be the ones I use a lot. So, like, this light purple that I'm using right now, I'm like looking at it and I'm like, oh, it's struggling so much. Which is fine. I got this. I'm doing great. I'm doing fantastic, actually. For anyone who's wondering, the Sophia the First song stuck in my head is from the episode where King Roland decides he doesn't want to be king anymore and he wishes to be a baker. And so they're bakers. Novel concept. It's a fun episode. I don't know why I'm making fun of it. That was like one of my favorites as a kid. Yeah. All right. Right now, I'm working on the scalloping design on the sides. I'm coloring it. I don't know. I'm coloring it like alternating. There's one green. I haven't decided what the other color is going to be. I would do a progress update, but I feel like I'm so close to it being done that there's no point in doing a progress update because then it kind of looks like almost done, which is okay. There we go. And we're going to go to this one. What else is there to talk about? I'm looking to the walls for inspiration. And there's a giant picture of Julie Andrews and a giant picture of Katharine Hepburn. Pretty good stuff. I can't really think of much else to say about it other than I like those pictures. If you don't know who they are, I'm sad for you, but also don't really feel like explaining it other than they're movie stars from like the kind of Hollywood films that I would watch with my grandpa all the time. I say that. I mean, because like the last several times I visited him, we just haven't had time to watch TV, which is like fine. There's other ways to spend quality time with people, I guess. See, this pink, you can't really see it right now. It's kind of a pink. It's like a dusty rose, but it looks so borderline red. And so I don't ever want to use it, but I like the idea of having a dusty rose. And this one looks more like it would be a dusty rose, but it's even more red. Let's see. This one, that first one is 5, this one is 10, and now the one I'm about to try is 12. Do we think it's going to be pinker or redder? Cast your votes now. It's redder, by the way. That's one thing I always found interesting. I don't know if, like, whenever they give you these jumbo packs, they're just random colors. I assume so. Because there's a lot of numbers missing, but I know I'm not missing a single marker, which is very interesting. I already used that, I'm pretty sure. Let's see. Instead of doing pink in the scalloping, I'm going to do... What's this funky? Ooh, I like that. We're going to use this. We've been using a lot of green lately. Interesting. It's kind of like a... It's what I imagine if turquoise and aquamarine became one thing. Like those colors. Kind of. Not fully, but almost. Mark your calendars for July 1st. We will for sure be having another guest on that day. Hopefully we'll have some more guests soon. I know I've been saying that. I've been trying to reach out to people, but it's a very hectic time of year. A lot of people have very busy schedules. So we're working on it, and we shall see what we manage to pull off. However, who knows? And that's okay. I am almost done with this one. This is going to be a short episode. Goodness gracious. Yeah, we've only been live for almost 30 minutes. Wow. That is a first. You know, technically, I'm treating today as the 6-month anniversary of Colorway Wednesday because I started it like the second, third-ish week of January. And the first ever episode of Colorway Wednesday that I recorded did not go well. In the fact to come, I wanted to live stream on Instagram, and then I found out I technically couldn't do that because I don't have 1,000 followers. And I was like, okay, that's fine. So I was like, oh, I'll just record this reel for now. And I had to record it 5 different times. I was going crazy. It was rough. Some of it was a skill issue on my part, don't get me wrong. But adding a couple little touches. I've been getting a little more into adding some like texture on my coloring pages lately, just to kind of add some more intrigue, and like it doesn't even need to be sensical texture, because I want to challenge myself to have to think outside of my logical brain. Even though I can be very creative, I often, whenever I'm doing things like this, kind of default into, okay, well, oh, this is the sky is blue. Oh, this is a leaf is green, at least in this. I'm sure whenever autumn comes around, we're going to be using so many like oranges and yellows and reds, all that jazz. But with that being said, I think, actually, fake out, I changed my mind. We're going to use this color. Can't decide between the pink or the purple. Maybe I should just use both. That's a good solution. Gonna add some fun, like extra, I guess, texture around the letters. That's another one of the fun things about coloring sheets, is even if it's not a like blank area and it's not like, oh, you're obviously supposed to color this in, you can technically do whatever you want, which I know is not a novel idea, but speaking of novels, I've been reading a lot lately. As I've previously mentioned, I got a new Kindle. I've been reading, gracious, what is it called? The Last Dragon of the East? Maybe it's the West. I'm directionally challenged. But only whenever it comes to saying the title of this book. I cannot remember it for the life of me. So that's been really fun. I'm going to be honest, I probably will not be using it in not a colorway. Well, obviously not a Colorway Wednesday. I will probably not be using it on Fantasy Friday, which is where I highlight different fantasy novels for all sorts of different ages to read on the first Friday of every month, typically, unless I do it a different Friday that month, which has happened in the past. But it will likely not make an appearance on there. It's not a bad book by any means, but I just personally don't think it's something I would recommend to my friends and family on the account. But it's been a fun read. Definitely made me want to read Daughter of the Moon Goddess again, or A Magic Steeped in Poison, which I kind of feel like I talked about that book last week. Not sure why, because I'm honestly not positive that we did, but I kind of think we might have. I should have done the inverse of these colors. That's okay. Today I watched the Disney Channel film Starstruck again, and then I watched Stuck in the Suburbs, which is another Disney Channel film. I'd actually never seen that one as a kid, which is kind of sad because it was fun. I would have liked it, mainly because Brenda Song is in it. If you don't know who Brenda Song is, I can guarantee you know her face if you've ever seen anything Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. She's the Paris Hilton spinoff. She's called London Tipton. And her dad owns hotels that are called the Tipton. Ha ha ha. Pretty clever. I love that show so much. I don't know why I'm pretending to bash it. It's a phenomenal show. Okay. That's fun. I'm going to add even more because why not? We're going to add dots in this color around the letters. Ooh, that's funky. As a kid, I really liked starting new projects. And so I would often like rush through projects just to start a new one. And that's something I'm trying to like grow out of. Because even just earlier today, I was crocheting and I was thinking about that because I was like, it's just so much more fun whenever I'm done with the project. Like, I love getting to finish the project and be like, oh, fantastic. What's next? What am I crocheting next? Oh my gosh, I get to start another thing. But then I like get near the end and I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to start a new one already. Which is okay. Because mind you, I know some people who actually like crochet full on like cardigans and stuff for themselves to wear. And dude, I admire it so much, and I think once I'm better, like I feel like I'm even better at crocheting, I would love to do that. But for now, I see that and I go, man, I would just like whenever I got my first Woobles kit, which is like a crochet how-to kit. Whenever I got my first kit, I didn't even finish it because I went, yeah, I know essentially how to crochet now. And so then I just started doing my own projects and I never finished that Woobles kit, which is on my to-do list. I just haven't gotten around to it, guys. All right. That's pretty fun. This reminds me, the letters now remind me of like back in my day when I was in like middle school, late elementary, not early elementary. Birthday presents would typically be like these like craft kits that were like, oh, customize this little makeup mirror, and it has like some sort of clay or something for you to make it, and like the coloration of it reminds me of just like the default colors you would get in anything and everything like that. But without further ado, here is my coloring sheet by Chelsea Tams. Pretty happy with it. You can't fully see, but the flowers have some dual coloring. You can definitely see it on this bottom one. Ooh, there we go, this bottom one. But with that being said, I think we're going to wrap up early today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope to see you next week. In the meantime, have fun, stay safe, and stay creative. And I shall talk to you then. Bye.